Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Martin Cloutier from Prestige Private Wealth Management. I was going through a new Fidelity retirement report, and there were some findings that really stood out to me. I want to share a few of those with you because they reveal something really important that I see all the time. I want to make sure that you've addressed it in your own circumstances. A lot of Canadians are entering retirement with savings, investments, pensions, RRSPs, TFSAs, and the like. But they still don't have a clear retirement income or asset drawdown plan. Having money saved is not the same thing as knowing how to turn that money into a reliable, tax-efficient retirement paycheck. One of the most startling findings in this report was this. Most Canadians have not planned their retirement paycheck even after they retire. Fidelity found that only 18% of retirees have a detailed written decumulation plan. And in simple terms, that just means that only a small percentage of retirees have a written plan for how they're going to turn their retirement savings into income. And even among people 65 and older, fewer than half had any kind of decumulation plan at all. That should make people pause because retirement is not just about accumulating money. It's about using that money to put points on your happiness scoreboard and using it responsibly. Which accounts do you draw from first? How much should you take out each year? Should you use your RSP first, your non-registered money first, your TFSA first? How does CPP, OAS, pension, taxes, and estate goals all fit in together? These aren't small questions. These are questions that determine whether your retirement income is efficient, stable, and properly coordinated. Another finding was this. Retirees are winging it with their withdrawals. According to Fidelity, 31% of retirees withdraw money as needed, and another 26% say that they don't have a specific approach or that it's hard to say. So more than half of retirees are either withdrawing reactively or don't have a clearly defined strategy at all. And that's a problem because in retirement, the order of withdrawals, the timing, tax results, and the long-term estate impacts matter. A poor withdrawal strategy can create unnecessary tax, reduce government benefits, increase the size of future RIF problems, or leave too much money inside the estate. And the frustrating part is that a lot of this can be easily improved with proper planning. The next finding was more emotional. Helping your kids can damage your retirement. Fidelity found that 55% of retirees have provided financial support to their adult children in some form. And among retirees who provided support, 29% said it negatively affected their sense of financial security. That's a big number. And I think many parents can relate to this. Most parents want to help their children. Maybe it's with a home purchase, rent, education, a wedding, a car, or just the rising cost of living. I mean, there's nothing wrong with helping your family, but there is a difference between helping from a surplus position and helping with the impact of a failing retirement plan. Because once you're retired, every major gift has a trade-off. You could reduce your future income, change your tax picture, or it could affect what you leave behind. So the question should not simply be, can we help? The better question can be, can we help without compromising our retirement security? Another area the report highlighted was wealth transfer. Canadians want to give money while they're alive, but many are not talking about it. Fidelity found that Canadians want to pass on significant portions of their wealth before they die. But 54% have not started having those conversations. And among those who have a financial advisor, 82% have not brought it up with their advisor. That's a major planning gap. Gifting during your lifetime can be very good strategically in some cases, but it needs to be coordinated with the rest of your plan. The gift itself might feel simple, but the planning around it often is not. You have to think about the tax consequences, the fairness between your children, whether you may need the money later, family law issues, second marriages, disabled beneficiaries, cottages, business assets, estate equalization, all of that. The report also touched on something newer, artificial intelligence. AI is entering retirement planning, but advisors are still the trusted source. Fidelity found that 26% of pre-retirees and 11% of retirees used AI for financial planning purposes in the last 12 months. That does not surprise me one bit. AI can be very helpful as a starting point. It can explain concepts, help people to ask better questions, and help people learn. But Fidelity also found that Canadians are not fully confident in the financial information they receive from AI. And honestly, that makes sense. AI can be useful, but it can also be confidently wrong. There's a meme that captures this perfectly. Someone asks AI if a mushroom is edible. AI says yes. Then later, once the damage is done and they're at the funeral, AI says, "You're right, that mushroom was poisonous. Sorry for the confusion." And yes, that's a funny meme, but it's not funny when the mistake involves your retirement income, your tax bill, your estate plan, or your family's financial security. Because AI may be willing to admit it was wrong, but by then, what did that mistake cost you? That's why you don't want a major retirement tax or estate decision built on incomplete information. AI doesn't know your full tax situation. It does not know your estate objectives. It may not know your spouse's income, your pensions, your account structure, your beneficiary designations, your unrealized capital gains, your family dynamics, all of that. So while AI can be helpful for education, when it comes to major retirement tax, income, estate decisions, you still need advice that is specific to your situation. And this is where I think retirement planning gets a little bit uncomfortable. A lot of people don't feel the cost of poor planning right away. It's not like the market drops 20% and you immediately see the impact on your statement. Sometimes the damage is happening quietly in the background. You may not realize you're paying more tax than necessary, drawing from the wrong place, or that you could be spending more in retirement without putting your future at risk. Because there's no obvious pain, it's easy to keep your head in the sand. But just because you don't feel the problem today, it doesn't mean that the problem isn't there. That's what I think the real travesty is. Many people would give retirement income planning far more attention if they would actually see what poor planning was costing them. And that brings me to the biggest takeaway from the report. The retirement plan most Canadians are missing is not just an investment plan, it's a retirement income plan. It's a withdrawal plan, it's a tax plan, and it's an estate plan. And it's a plan for how much you can safely spend, how much you can safely give, and how to coordinate all the moving parts. Because having an investment is not the same thing as having a retirement strategy. You may have an RSP, a TFSA, an unregistered plan, a CPP, OAS, pension, a house, all this kind of good stuff. But if those pieces are not coordinated, you may be leaving yourself exposed to unnecessary tax, ineffective withdrawals, avoidable estate problems, or financial stress that could have been reduced. That's why I know that this Fidelity report is worth reading. It highlights something important. Canadians are not short on financial concerns. They are short on coordinated retirement income planning. We can fill that gap for you with proper comprehensive income planning. That's how we help you to live for today while planning for a better tomorrow. I'll include the link to the report if you want to download it and see for yourself. As you read it, ask yourself one simple question. Do I just have a retirement savings plan, or do I actually have a retirement income plan? If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe and like and share it with someone who might benefit from this conversation. And if you want help figuring out what your retirement income strategy should be, schedule your free, no obligation coffee call by clicking on the link below.